Coming up on this week's news, some of the biggest brands in the electrical trade are slapped with huge fines for price fixing. We reveal the installed electrical kit most loved by homeowners, and missing British electrician Kris Finney is found safe and well in Tenerife. Welcome to Electrical News Weekly in association with Solar Trade Sales, your easy one-stop shop for all things solar. Make sure you click the link in the show notes to access their online store. Whether you're listening in the van, on-site or down at the wholesale counter, I'm Joe Robinson, and I've been through the best of the electrical industry news to save you the trouble. And this week's challenge word competition is supported by the good people at Brady. If you need a label, they've got a printer and so much more. If you think you've spotted the 2 words I've been challenged to slip into this week's show, comment with them below for the chance to win a prize. And while you're there, click the link to check out the Brady range of printers. And this week only, stay tuned to the end of the show for a special report from Joe Hammond on the winners of this year's eFIXX Awards. Some of the biggest brands in the trade have been slapped with fines totalling £391 million for price fixing. The French Competition Authority says Schneider Electrical, Legrand, Rexel and Sonepar had deals to set the resale prices of their products to electricians. The alleged practice took place in France and involved Schneider Electric as a manufacturer and Rexel and Sonepar as wholesalers between December 2012 and September 2018. For Legrand and Rexel, the alleged offences took place from May 2012 to September 2015. Officials fined Schneider £172 million, Rexel £103 million, Sonepar £80 million and Legrand £35 million. However, Rexel said the pricing arrangements were normal in the trade. A standard commercial discount on the purchase price was provided to wholesalers. Legrand said that the practice enables distributors to buy at more convenient prices and consequently set lower resale prices for installers to the benefit of end customers. For their part, Schneider, Rexel and Legrand said they disagreed with the ruling and reserved the right to appeal the penalties. In a statement, Sonepar said that it believes that it acted in the interest of its customers and in strict compliance with competition rules. The company said it would take its case to the Court of Appeal. The ruling was the culmination of a disastrous week for Schneider Electric. In the days following the judgment, the company's computer system was targeted by ransomware hackers who claimed to have stolen a huge amount of its documents. It appears unrelated to the price-fixing case. The criminal gang, called Hellcat, is threatening to leak the sensitive information unless it is paid £100,000 worth of baguettes. Yes, you heard that right. In a bizarre ransom demand, the hackers are insisting on sticks of French bread. Maybe they've got a surplus of langoustines to consume or something. But the breach is being taken very seriously at the company's HQ in Paris. Schneider says it's investigating a cybersecurity incident involving unauthorised access and that its global incident response team has been immediately mobilised. And finally, company chief Peter Herweck has been ousted in a boardroom row over company strategy. He's been replaced by Olivier Blum. The Frenchman faces a heck of an entree. We wish him well. Monsieur Blum could always cheer himself up by entering a competition to win with BG. Installers who buy a product from the BG Circuit Protection range will get entered into a draw whose top prize is a European city break. The runner-up prizes aren't too shabby either. They include a Porsche driving experience, an annual pass for Merlin theme parks and attractions, and a smart TV. To enter, buy a product from the range. Accessories are not included. Upload your receipt or invoice to the special BG website, and that's it. I've popped a link to the competition website in the show notes. The promotion ends on Tuesday the 10th of December. All the best, everyone. In other news, the National Home Energy Survey for 2024 has just been published. The poll by the Eco Experts surveys satisfaction levels with electrical products. Its results show that the installed technology most popular with homeowners by some distance is solar panels. 9 out of 10 customers said that they were either satisfied or very satisfied. The reasons given for the big thumbs up is the energy savings, the payback time, and the fact that it starts saving from day one. It's estimated that the average 3-bedroom house will enjoy a 50% reduction in energy bills from the first day having operating solar panels. Customers also love using the app, which shows them the dynamic pricing in real time. Despite the high satisfaction levels, there are reports that the government is considering making the inclusion of PV in new homes optional. Ministers are working on new regulations for construction known as the Future Home Standard. Environmental campaigners hope that it would force house builders to install the panels. They argue it would be much cheaper to add them at build stage. However, insiders say it looks like the rules will merely encourage builders to add them where it's appropriate. If that's the case, it'll be seen as good news for the house building lobby. If you'd like to get ahead of the game and start vibing with solar PV installations, check out the free training package our very own Joe Hammond created on the subject with the support of ENW sponsors SunSync. You'll find a link to that in the show notes. There's some very good news for the electrical community also this week, with the announcement that missing Lancashire electrician Kris Finney has been found in Tenerife 4 days after he went missing. The 31-year-old Edenfield contractor was found by a shopkeeper who took him in. Apparently Finney had been wandering the island after he was left with no money and no working phone. He was due to meet friends, but they were staying in separate apartments. His family told the BBC that they were hugely relieved and had been sick with worry. The unexpected turns like this that life takes are the subject of a warning this week to young electricians. One of the trade's leading financial experts is alerting them to the fact that they're taking big risks if their income isn't protected. Speaking on an eFIXX live stream, Gary Morrissey of Access Financial Services says that installers starting out in the business need to consider what would happen in the event of an accident, injury or illness. He says they may have just bought their own home or be renting for the first time. They're paying all the bills and everything's going well, but then suddenly they can't work. Their income comes to a halt, but the bills still need to be paid. Morrissey says most electricians who are employed are often surprised to discover how little sick pay they're entitled to, both from the government and their employers too. He says that they need an income protection insurance policy in place to restore their income. If the worst comes to the worst, it's too late to do anything about it. Morrissey says that for an electrician on £4,000 a month, the most common policies will let you claim 65% of your gross salary, usually for 2 years. Such a policy should cost between £15 and £20 a month for young electricians, and the premium should stay the same for the duration of the policy. He says many sparks are often surprised at how cost effective it is. If you have dependents, such as a partner or children, you could also consider critical illness cover. Unlike income protection, which pays out monthly, critical illness cover pays a lump sum. It's designed for things like a cancer diagnosis, but premiums are typically twice as much as income protection. Finally, Morrissey says electricians should also consider life insurance to protect their family should the worst happen. Although I don't remember those being the lyrics to Charming Man. Anyway, I've popped the link to the Access Financial Services webpage in the show notes. It really is worth checking out and thinking about as an urgent priority. Costs less than you think and could really benefit you in the future. So click that link and protect you and your loved ones. And speaking of what can go wrong in an emergency, last week's question of the week was taken from our free training package from Robus, where we explain how to make sure your lighting will go right in an emergency. The question was, which type of emergency light fitting is connected to the battery in a separate light fitting? The correct answer is a satellite fitting, and it seems there's a bit of an improvement to be made here. On YouTube, only 66% of our viewers got it right. Twitter trailed a little at 60%, while over on LinkedIn, yes, you may well hang your head in shame, only 43% got it right. Well, nobody's perfect. Whatever platform you're on, click the link in the show notes to take that free training package from Robus. We walk you through everything you need to know to keep your installation and maintenance processes compliant. You know where the link is. In product news this week, it's been announced that Greenbrook is taking over the MK Sentry Consumer Unit from CircPro. Greenbrook is now handling the sales, distribution and technical support for the popular discboard. The firm says it will complement its Powerbreaker range of kit. And what does every great discboard need? Great labels, of course, and that's where Challenge Word sponsors Brady come in with the M211, a revolutionary entry-level portable printer designed for job site efficiency. Paired with the industry-leading Express Labels app, the M211 lets users design, preview and print pre-sized labels directly from their phones. This simple, intuitive device is built tough, withstanding drops, shocks and crushes while running all day on a full charge. Key features include seamless Bluetooth 5.0 connectivity, easy data integration from existing spreadsheets, and LED indicators for battery life, connectivity and label status. It will help you to save time and streamline your workflow by creating, saving and sharing complex label designs with colleagues effortlessly. It even has an option to dictate text onto blank or wrap labels, which gives a faster, more efficient way to label. And best of all, it's currently available at a reduced rate of only £115. You'll find the deal at the link in the show notes. However, if like Gary, the thought of using an app for anything makes your blood run cold, then check out its sister product, the M210. More on that in a couple of weeks. Meanwhile, up in Lineside Studios, we've been getting to grips with Klauker's latest crimp tool. The Micro EK50 SDML also works as both an automatic wire cutter and stripper. It can handle everything from standard PVC to high voltage cables. As usual with cool new tools, Gordon elbowed his way to the front to intercept the postman, and he's had a bit of a play around with it. The link to the video is in the show notes. If you like what you see, we've managed to get a 5% discount code especially for eFIXX viewers. Again, details of how to claim that are in the show notes. Now, the winners of this year's eFIXX Awards were announced last week, and here with a special report is Joe Hammond.
Thanks, Joe. So from an incredible pool of finalists, it was a really tough task for our judges to choose our eFIXX 2024 award winners, but choose them they did. So here's a recap of our winners of the 2024 eFIXX Awards. EV Installer of the Year in association with Sync Energy, EV Heroes. Wholesaler of the Year in association with Forum Lighting Solutions, Yes Electrical Birkenhead. Residential Installer of the Year in association with Luden Palazzoli, Lukeman Electrical. Smart Home Installer of the Year in association with NextBlue, Airwave AV. Renewables Installer of the Year in association with Solar Trade Sales, Electrical Innovations. Lighting Installer of the Year in association with Cosnic, PowerCore. Fire, Data and Security Installer of the Year in association with HighSpec, KHG Security. Marketing of the Year in association with Hager, KHG Security. Commercial and Industrial Installer of the Year in association with CPN Qdis, A10 Electrical Solutions. Heating and Ventilation Installer of the Year in association with Envirovent, Earlham UK. Training Provider of the Year in association with Dock Store, Humberside Engineering Training Association. College of the Year in association with Matrell, South and City College, Birmingham. Lecturer of the Year in association with Scarmy, Paul Gale. Person of the Year in association with Wago, Ruth Devine MBE. A huge thank you to all of our sponsors and our judges, and congratulations to all of our winners of this year's eFIXX 2024 Awards.
Thanks for that, Joe, and thanks to all the judges for your valuable input, and well done to everyone who entered, made the shortlist or won this year. If you just missed out, then look out for when we open the entries to next year's awards. And our usual reminder now that we're in the market for your stories, your projects and your recommendations, as we'd like to share them with the wider eFIXX community. During November, we're looking at commercial EV charging, testing equipment and innovations within the electrical industry. Send us pictures of your installs or let us know if you've come across any new kit that's making your job easier. Now, just before we get to your favourite bit of the show where I reveal last week's challenge words and winners, we want to thank our premium partners. We couldn't make the news without you. First up, it's the people who created the Swiss Army knife of solar inverters along with all-weather batteries. Very much the Boy Scouts of the solar industry, it's Sunsync. The best thing to come out of Yorkshire since stainless steel, the home of EV Ultra and other groundbreaking and quality products, it's Doncaster Cables, with an incredible range of equipment from EV charge points through industrial sockets and switches to kit for explosive areas. Plus, they supplied gear for a Campari factory, so they'll always have a place in my heart. It's Scarmy. Big thanks to you all. We really appreciate your ongoing support for the news. If you think you know the words that I've smuggled into this week's show, pop your guess into the comments. We'll take all the correct guesses and select one at random to be the winner of an eFIXX goodie bag prize. Answers submitted after about lunchtime on the Thursday after release will not be entered into the draw. Now let's reveal the winners of last week's challenge word competition, as sponsored by Brady. Remember, if you need a label, they've got a printer and so much more. Click the link in the description to view their incredible range. Last week's words were amok and mischievous, and the first name to come out of our electronic hat was Martin E63. So well done to you, Martin, if I may call you Martin without the E63 part. Click the link in the show notes to claim your prize. Thanks for listening to this episode of Electrical News Weekly in association with Solar Trade Sales, your easy one-stop shop for all things solar. Remember to click the link in the show notes to check out their online shop. Make sure you subscribe to receive the next update. Thanks for listening, and until next time, have a great week. Stay safe out there, and remember, there's no such thing as a torque calibrated arm.